Good morning, Jill Marie. Jill Maria.
Maria, that's right. Good morning.
Good, Murdy. That's important, Jill Maria. Tell me about your name.
That's my birth name.
Uh-huh.
I grew up going by Jill when I was little. We were the 4 J's: Jim, John, Joel, Jill. And if it was Dad and you were in trouble, it was Jim, John, Joel, Jill, whoever the heck you are. But
So you're all J's, huh?
we're all J's. And then I was a Benedictine for nearly 20 years, and there were 2 Jills in the community, so I became Jill Maria at that time, using my full name. And then all my professional writing and everything is under that name, so I just kept it.
Jill
I was
Maria.
used to it, so I just kept it and always used it. And but now sometimes I'm Jill, sometimes I'm Jill Maria. It just depends on where you are. And
Okay. Well, we'll stick with Jill Maria. You're new to campus. You are, tell us your title.
I am the Liturgical Ministries coordinator.
All right,
and
now
I've been here 6 months.
6 months. Well, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
And what is it exactly that you do in that position that you're in?
That's kind of funny. It's there are official things, but it's almost an other duties is assigned kind of thing. I kind of head the liturgy department. I work closely with our full-time musician and with our sacramental minister, Father Jim. And my role is, it's very different. In a parish, I was coordinator or director of liturgy and music, so I was in charge of everything and making sure it all got done. And here, my job is, I do the scheduling, I do all the other things, but it's not just about putting names on an Excel sheet. That means knowing so-and-so doesn't do steps when you assign her for communion. So there are a lot of details, a lot of little intimacies. Right. But I see the whole role as one of empowerment. When I could look at these duties and say, oh, I can do that. But that's not when I'm doing my job. That's not when I'm doing my ministry. It's when I can get someone else doing that thing. For example, there are 3 different sisters that write the intercessions. Okay. And that's something someone's capable of doing or on their time.
But you're saying in your parish, you would have done that?
Yeah, I would have done all of that.
Wonderful.
So it's a little paradigm shift. I mean,
Yes.
my job's not to do it all. My job's to make sure it's done and hopefully done well, but it's to empower other people to do what they're capable of.
Wonderful.
I think of this one little sister who had been ill for quite a bit, and she was so excited when she could get back to her ministry. And it's to take her walker and go up at communion and get the Blessed Sacrament and take it back to the tabernacle. That
That's
little
right,
walk.
that's right.
But that's her ministry, and it's incredibly important to her. So just learning those pieces and.
Well, I think of how long we looked for someone. Maybe I should say how long we looked for you. And it was our prayers and also through the Holy Spirit that you are sitting here today and in the ministry that you are in. How did you hear about us? I mean, you came from another parish in another state.
I did. I came here from Wisconsin. I'd been in a parish there for 17 years, and due to budget cuts, my position disappeared, and they went with something else. So that was kind of devastating to find out, and, to say the least,
You were there 17 years?
Yes. And the week I found this out, I was going on a workshop. I was down in Texas and spending a couple of days with good friends before it started, and I spent one full day just filling out resumes. That's really where I just kind of cried and lost it, and thought, okay, what's life got now? And I several people had sent me the Adrian job. My friends in the profession knew I was looking.
Okay.
Several people had sent it to me. And I saw it in the NPM and NCR, and I read it out loud to my friends. And it was very different than any other job description I've ever seen. And
I thought so too.
it was delightful, and it had the charism even in that blurb, in that interview. And one of the things that it said, was that having an understanding of religious life is helpful, and that's something I've got an idea of, having been in a Benedictine community for many years. So that was something that was attractive. So I filled out the application. Then I was at this workshop, and your sister Lois Paha was out there
good,
too.
Lois,
And we got connected up and we chatted a little bit. And I think she called home and said, "Hey, we got a live one here," or something. And it was very shortly after that, when I got back, that the formal process started.
Okay.
And so I did a phone interview, and then they flew me out for a couple of days and did an interview with the liturgy team and with Father Jim Malone, with a table full of sisters, and then ended with
Little
Sister
intimidating?
Patty. At times.
Okay.
But the part with the table full of sisters was, and again, you've got people with masters in the field in there. Marilyn Barnett was there, a bunch of people. But it was feminine. Even that interview, it wasn't just a list of questions. Do you do this? Do you do that? It was a dialogue between both of us in finding what fits. And then, and I had some other offers, and I was trying to discern what was right, and felt like I'd flown in here, so I hadn't seen the town at all. So I'm going to tell our story now, Peg. So I contacted Erin Dress and the HR person and said, "I think I'm going to come back and take a second look. I'd like to look around town." So she got me hooked up with a room at the Weber Center. And my aunt and I came, and they put what I love to call the closer sisters on taking care of us. So Peg and Pat took us around town and showed us things, and we looked at apartments and just got the lay of the land and the history of the town. And the two of you were just worked on us at dinner a little bit.
We just were being ourselves.
I know, but it was like, wow.
Yeah.
But then I need to back up just a hair. When I took the job in Wisconsin, that was right when I was leaving the monastery, so it was an emotional time. And I had flown out for an interview at Marquette and in another parish and in the parish that I went to. And I finally decided the parish job was the one to take. And I called up Father Jeff, who's now Bishop Jeff Haynes, and I said, "I think I'd like to come work with you people." And his response was, "We've been waiting for you for so long." So then, here I am in Adrian, eating Italian with my Aunt Donna and with Peg and Pat, and you pop up in the middle of the meal with, "We've been waiting for you for so long." And it was, who needs signs? That was, I mean, how could you say the exact same thing? And then not knowing that, after I got here, that first 2 weeks, I think, you're meeting sisters, and I heard that over and over again. And it was just so affirming, so,
Good.
I could say, of the Spirit.
Yeah, really. And we had waited, and we really had been waiting for you, whoever you were, and it was you.
Yeah.
But not only have you given so generously here on this campus and in different ways, but you have been gifted in many ways by Almighty God with so many talents, which you are generously share. But you
Thank
have
you.
also gifted yourself with the town here of Adrian. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing as far as getting in to the spirit of the city?
Well, it's important for me. I think I even said in my interview, you know, I'm not just looking for a new job. I'm looking for a new community. Being present, being part of that is huge for me, wherever I live, wherever I minister. And so my best friend in the way I know how to go out and share myself is through music. And so I've been involved in a number of open mics in town, events where several musicians get together and each play a few songs, and those have helped me make some friends here in town. And then I've also done some volunteer things, like I've played for an Adrian First Friday. So I played at Wegley's.
The funeral home?
No, that's not, that is a realty, the Wegley Group.
Oh, okay, that's right.
And they had a lovely exhibit from the art center there, from the Adrian Arts Center. And I played at Challoner's downtown.
Right, I know that.
And then recently I've been contacted, like by the Adrian Arts Center, so I'm going to be playing for their Christmas gathering, their open house, and so those are some fun ways to get out. And I played for an art thing at the NI Gallery here on campus, and it's just good ways to get out. And then I did a gig myself at Farber's a couple of weeks ago,
and that was great because you brought the support of the campus community here.
Yes,
that
was wonderful. So many of the sisters came, and then my coworkers, people I eat lunch with, some of the people I work with, most of the administrative team was there. I said the line out of the movie Sister Act at one point. You look out and you said, hey, if this turns into a nun's bar, I'm out of here. But we did a pretty good job of it that night.
Well, didn't Farber's also say they were going to start a bit early so the sisters could come? I thought I heard that.
Yeah. When we were setting it up, Eric Parker says, should we schedule it like from 6 to 8 so the sisters can come? So they were very. But he knew, because every time I've come out for open mic, there have been several tables full of people come out.
It gets us out into the community as well. Very good. Very good. Well, have you decided to do one over at the DLC for the sisters that can't get out?
We're working. I'm working with activities to schedule a date, whether an afternoon or an evening. I'm doing like Christmas stuff at their December happy hour.
Oh, good. Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
they'll love it.
I'll do carols and stuff for that.
Yeah, because you sing, and how many instruments do you play?
A few.
Name them.
I taught 1 through 12 choral and instrumental music once upon a time. So to teach band, you've had a semester on everything. So I can play a bad trumpet, a bad French horn, clarinet, flute. I can play everything, at least badly. But the things that I'm proficient on are, my undergrad, I was a vocal major and a sax major. So voice, guitar, ukulele, banjo, piano, organ, saxophone, play an okay trombone as well. We brought the sax out the other week for Soon and Very Soon at the end of the Mass and wailed on that a little bit. Yeah, the sisters enjoyed that.
Oh, that's good. So there's surprises that happen at liturgy, huh?
Oh, no.
You preach. You also preach.
I do like that opportunity here. Thank you.
Gorgeous voice. I know one time I think we were going up to communion together or something. The choir was singing, and all of a sudden it sounded like there was another choir behind me, and it was you singing. It was awesome.
Thank you.
What a gift
Thank you.
Have. You know, to get back, when you first came to campus, what were your first impressions of campus? Of the environment or the people with whom you may work someday?
You know, the word welcoming is incredibly real. Whether it's one of the things I noticed as I was walking around and, you know, as I'm being toured around and everything else was the interaction and the respect. And it didn't matter if it was, you know, head of HR or Father Jim or a sister or someone from the kitchen or someone
Right.
from environment, or that everyone acknowledged everybody, that mutual respect was clearly visible, impressed me right off the bat.
Good.
And several places around the campus, you have those prints with the enactments, which the rules and the guidelines that the community goes by. That struck me very strongly.
Good.
I went in. I remember when I went to chapel to go to mass with the sisters when I was interviewing. I thought, you have two ways of doing this, Jilsey. You can put your liturgist hat on and have your mental clipboard and say, okay, this is everything they're doing wrong or different than I would do. Or you can go in and pray with the sisters and see what it feels like. So I kind of left all training, I left all everything, and I just said, let's just go pray and see what it feels like. And it happened to be like a quiet mass. It was a Friday.
Okay.
But it was lovely, it was powerful, it was rich, and I liked that. And I think I said when I came, you know, I know a lot about liturgy, I know a lot about theology, I know the lectionary cycle, I know the documents like the back of my hand. I says, but I don't know the Adrian Dominicans.
Okay.
Teach me. And that was, so I tried to come with just an openness to charism, to tradition, to just, you know, the dangerous thing in a parish or a community are the 7 last words of Christ. We've always done it that way. But on the same hand, respecting what's there and learning it is so important.
And you may have started to do a few different things that we've not always done. And I'm sure all the sisters accepted everything. No one's been telling you how we've always done it.
Oh, I get a few
know.
people who love to offer advice. But I figure everybody needs a chance to be heard and to...
Yeah, you're good about that, yes.
And
Yes.
there are a lot of pieces that, I mean, a lot of people have been so wonderful about that. When the ministerial schedule that was up when I got here, there were some mistakes in it. It was like one of the last things that someone had done who was departing, and so they cranked it out pretty quick. And I remember Maria Gretti coming up to me, like in my second or third day, and saying, you know, there are some things that are a little off on the schedule here. Would you like me to make the next one?
Oh.
And I said, you know, thank you, but I won't learn if we do that.
Okay.
How about we do it together?
Good.
So
Good.
she and Helen Sohn
Right,
helped
they're
me
good.
make like the first couple of ones, and they told me a lot of little things, and I was able to take a bunch of little notes and things. And then I started doing it, but I still run it by them for eyes to see.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it
good.
just, they know people so well, and to real, I mean, again, there's so many things like so-and-so just had surgery, you've got to take her off for this month, or
Okay.
that you might not know.
Great.
Or,
Wonderful. So you've been here 6 months, and do you have a message for us about your experience? You certainly have shared a lot since we started a few minutes ago, but anything special Anything other special that you want us to know? Or
It is a wonderful, wonderful community. A community of sisters, of co-workers, friends, and lines that blur between, which is wonderful. I am so impressed with the outreach and the work that the community itself is doing. I think I said on my Facebook the other day, they don't just talk the talk.
Yeah.
They walk the walk. And even like at administrative committee meeting and stuff, one of the first things on the agenda is, what are you doing in Lenawee County outreach? That as we find out what other things people are involved in, it's a wonderful place to be. I'm so grateful that God brought me here. And one of the songs I sang the other night was from the movie Toy Story. Is called "Feels Like Home," and
Yes.
it's definitely becoming my home and my heart. And I'm so lucky to be here. And in my role, you walk such sacred journeys with people. I mean, the funerals is such a big part of what I do, and knowing those stories and hearing these lives, it's an amazing community, and it's a wonderful place to be, and I'm grateful.
anything else that you had hoped I'd ask and I didn't, or would come up and it didn't?
Well, I know you don't like animals, so we won't talk about my
It's
cat.
not about me. Oh, your cat's an important part of your life. I realize that.
No, that's okay. I'm just teasing.
Anyway, I hope, and I think you do know how grateful we are as we approach Thanksgiving. We have been truly blessed with your presence among us.
Thank you.
What was before was what was before, but this was the right time. And we knew somebody was out there. And, through the prayers and everything else, you were the one that was out there. And the convoluted way that you got here, it's been a blessing, and we are most grateful. And so is the city of Adrian, I'm sure, most grateful. So thank you, Jill Maria, for your energy, for your passion, for sharing all your gifts with us. You are truly special person. So in the name of the congregation, I thank you. In the name of Farvers, I thank you. And what's your cat's name?
George, or Kitty Boy, but
George, okay. Tell George I'll be over someday.
Yes.
But in the meantime, thank you and happy Thanksgiving.
thank you very much. Thank you.